Welcome to SSU. We're here to talk to y'all about CAPS, which is what folks call our Counseling and Psychological Services Department. I'm Dr. Courtney Avampato. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm one of the counselors that works for CAPS. So here's an overview of our services. All regularly enrolled students are eligible for our services. All services provided are covered by your student fees, so are free of charge. CAPS welcomes you to drop into the office or call in, depending on physical distancing restrictions, for an initial appointment to speak with one of our counselors and discuss your concerns. In collaboration with you, a CAPS counselor will assist you in obtaining the appropriate services to meet your needs. Sometimes this will be services at CAPS, and sometimes this will be referral to community providers. CAPS services are confidential. Therefore, everything you say to your counselor is kept private, including documentation status, unless you give us written permission to release information to a third party. We never share your information with anyone outside of CAPS, including your family or your professors. There are some legal exceptions to confidentiality, including situations in which your counselor determines that you are at imminent risk of harming yourself or others, child, elder, or dependent adult abuse is suspected, and unusual legal exceptions, including court-ordered releases of information. Your counselor will discuss these exceptions with you at your first meeting. Now let's talk in more detail about the services CAPS has to offer. Crisis services. Students have access to a counselor 24/7 when experiencing a crisis. Students can visit CAPS or call CAPS when remote during office hours for drop-in crisis support and or call CAPS outside office hours to speak with our after-hours crisis counseling services. Crisis situations describe students who are currently or within the past 2 weeks experiencing anything like considering suicide, or are worried they'll harm themselves or someone else. They're having symptoms of psychosis, like seeing or hearing things that aren't there. They've experienced a trauma like the death of a loved one, a sexual assault, or an act of discrimination. They're having problems meeting basic needs for things like food or shelter. They're experiencing violence in a relationship, or they're concerned about the immediate safety of someone else. If you're not sure if what you're experiencing is a crisis, call us or come in. We'll help you sort it out. If you know that there is an immediate threat to someone's life, we encourage you to just call 911 for immediate help. Short-term counseling. We utilize a short-term model of therapy with the number and frequency of sessions determined by you and your counselor. If your issues are better served with more frequent or lengthier therapy than CAPS can offer, or with specialized services, your counselor will work with you to find resources for treatment in the community. We also offer counseling for 2 or more currently enrolled SSU students who are having difficulty within their relationship. Relationship counseling is available to romantic and/or sexual partners, roommates, or friends. Group counseling and workshops. Group therapy can be as effective as or more effective than individual therapy. The number of group sessions and workshops attended are unlimited and are offered on a wide range of topics and for diverse identities, such as tips for managing anxiety, how to implement boundaries with others, suicide prevention, and how to manage difficult emotions, mindful self-compassion, women of color, LGBTQ+, family concerns, self-care, managing ADHD symptoms, healing after sexual assault, relationships, and more. Consultation. There may be a time when you become concerned about the mental health of another SSU student and would like guidance about how best to talk to them about or cope with your concern. You may come in or call when services are remote during our drop-in hours and meet with an available clinician to discuss your concerns. Referral and resources. We collaborate with students on identifying needs and providing information and referrals to resources on campus and within the community.
Hi, my name is Elisa Vasquez. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm one of the staff psychologists here at CAPS. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get connected to services, and that will look a little bit different depending on if we're providing services remotely or in person. If we're remote, students can access services by calling our main line at 707-664-2153. From there, you'll speak to our administrative coordinator to determine if you're in need of immediate counseling from our on-call clinician, or if you can be scheduled with a clinician at a future date. When we're working remotely, sessions will be conducted by phone or Zoom. If we're in person, then students seeking services for the first time need to present to the office for an initial consult appointment or crisis appointment, depending on their presenting issue. If a student is experiencing urges or thoughts to harm themselves or others, or has experienced a recent traumatic event, then we will see them for a crisis appointment with the same-day clinician. If they are not an immediate crisis, we will see them for an initial consult appointment. The initial consult appointment allows us to have a brief meeting with the student to assess what is bringing them into CAPS and if their needs are a good fit for our services.
Hi, this is Dr. Isa Avila Seder, counselor over at CAPS. I go by she, her, hers pronouns. As we covered earlier today in our discussion, there can be things we notice in our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and bodies that prompt us to seek help. In addition to reaching out for help and support during these moments, the cues we receive can also signal to us that it's time to attend to our self-care. Self-care can greatly help the impact of chronic stress on our physical and mental well-being. It doesn't have to be about making all the stress go away. Instead, when we notice signals of distress in ourselves, we can do our best to practice self-care. Self-care is a process of intentionally and deliberately attending to and taking care of various areas of our wellness, such as our physical well-being, our psychological health, interpersonal well-being, spiritual well-being, academic and professional well-being, and all sorts of other domains of our lives. For example, one form of self-care is exercise. If you use exercise to release built-up stress and tension in your body, that's one way to attend to your self-care. Or by calling a friend each week, you can prevent feelings of loneliness. It can be very simple ways to relax and attend to your basic needs. Here are some tips and things to keep in mind around self-care. Try to be intentional and creative with your self-care. Carve out a dedicated time in your week or month that's purely for your self-care so that you can rest, recharge, and relax. Be creative with your self-care. If there's limited time or resources, you could combine some self-care by calling a friend while you go for a walk. Or you could pick up a hobby or an interest that doesn't cost too much money, so it's not too hard on your budget. And don't forget to call on your support system of people to be your accountability buddies. And you can give each other gentle reminders to practice self-care. Give yourself permission to use humor and fun to help you get through stressful periods. You can only run on an empty tank or fumes for so long. Eventually, you must stop over to fill up your tank. That is to slow down and practice some self-care. Self-care is necessary for your well-being. We can't help others or attend to our responsibilities if we don't take care of ourselves. You can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care fills your cup. It is okay to be where you are in this journey to self-care. Your self-care can be uniquely yours based on what you are needing. Thank you.
Hi, folks. This is Dr. Laura Williams. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the director of CAPS. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of our services and that you won't hesitate to reach out to us if you need support. Whether you're meeting with us through Zoom, a phone call, or in person, we strive to be warm and welcoming to all students. All of our counselors are really, really kind. They're very skilled at meeting the needs of college students. And we like to think we're cool. I'm not sure if we are. I'm not sure, but you can be the judge of that. I know it can be daunting to reach out for help, but no, that's what we're here for. We're excited you'll all be starting with us in the fall. Take good care. Welcome to SSU, and hope to meet you soon.